and welcome to Brewskis and Housekeys. I am Nicole Kostelecki.
And I'm Nick Papantanakis.
And we are here at Remax Alliance in Old Town, Nevada, enjoying some beers and talking about September stats for the October market update.
It's officially time. We are about a week and a half into October, so we got the numbers in from DMAR, Denver Metro Association Realtors, and we want to just cruise through them because we know you guys have been waiting patiently, which we appreciate because you just love the numbers. We love the numbers.
I do.
I know.
You know I do.
Well, you do, but I also think I don't know. It helps me feel like
good.
I actually know what's going on.
Oh, 100%.
So I like it.
There's another one.
Boom. You numbered. But, as always, we're not just here to do that.
We're here to drink.
We're here to also
and to
enjoy
talk
some beers. Well,
about
that's true.
What's been going on.
I think the important thing on my mind that I need to know more about is your Oktoberfest celebration is coming up.
Yes, it is. I'm excited. It's this weekend, this Saturday.
Can we know what all is happening? Are there planned event things or is it?
It's a lot. So, I have a live band this year.
Sick.
I know. So that's a big deal.
Oh, man.
Every year it gets.
Yeah, it's true. I wish I brought my koozies. I made some really, really cool koozies.
I'll put them up on the screen.
Okay,
Sweet. Thank you.
They're awesome. It's like a Oktoberfest girl.
Yeah.
Going
German
Prost.
beer girl.
Yeah.
Perfect.
And then
But
obviously.
it looks
Is it Nicole's face?
Yes. It's a cartoon of her, pretty much.
Yeah. Games. Got the street blocked off again. Just like yard games, stuff like that.
Oh, okay.
I've thought about doing like a Stein hoisting competition.
Some of the beer
And
games.
I might be able to make that happen if I can find a couple cups, mugs that are like that size.
Yeah.
Good size. To do like 5 against each other.
Maybe just buddy up with some brewery that can loan them to you and then promise to pay for them if they don't come back.
There you go. That's good. Well, I'm getting beer from Gordon Biersch.
Oh,
and
that's good
I'm
beer.
really excited. It's a really good beer.
That's really
I got their Fest beer and their Czech Pilsner.
See, this time of year, have you guys heard me say this before? That's the kind of beer
You
I want.
like it. But
I know.
their beer is so good.
It is.
It's like very flavorful, especially the Czech Pilsner. That's my favorite there.
I don't know if I've had that one there.
I like it because it's like
like
crisp, but it also is kind of hoppy. It's good.
You know what else?
I can get behind that.
Fact checker Phil has a little something to do with this.
Does he?
He's
Yes.
Roast.
Phil is going to smoke some pork butt.
Oh, my.
I know.
Fact checker Phil strikes again.
I know, and he's very excited. I brought it in yesterday. And
I want to go home and do it
right now. I was like, just wait till Friday.
He couldn't be here with us today on this episode, but for those of you who know who he is, he also loves to cook. So I think that is going to be delicious.
And smoke meat.
Oh.
He's been watching videos all week.
If you go out on his balcony, he has one of everything.
Oh,
Whether
man.
it's a skillet, like a giant skillet, or a smoker of different types, or just a traditional barbecue.
He loves his Blackstone. That's that big flat top one.
That's it.
That's the thing. And he sends me emails once a week and says, forward this to your wife. This should be a gift that you get.
There
I'm
you
like,
go.
You deserve it.
Looking out for me, man.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So, no, I'm excited. Still got a few things to get together.
Last minute
Yeah,
stuff.
well, cleaning is the main thing, and cleaning up my yard and just making sure everything looks good. Cleaning out the garage.
Is your house a focal point for the fest?
Well, it's all at my house.
Oh, I thought it was like the...
It's a block
party.
party, but it's really mainly just my yard. I do like block off a section of the road. So there's some games over there, but for the most part, it's all like right around there. But I get a porter potty, so not everyone is coming in through the house.
That's a great idea.
Yeah, mainly just if people ask to see it, but most of it's outside.
If it weren't a beer drinking themed fest, I would say people could, I'd be fine with people using my restroom most of the time, but that's a lot of traffic.
It's just a lot,
It's
especially
a lot of
for
traffic.
one bathroom in
Porta
a
potty's smart.
1919 house.
Yes. Yes.
Although
that's
cleaning today, someone drove by my house and they go, oh, like, I love your house. So, it's occupied, right? I was like, yeah, I live here. And she's like, no, I mean, like, haunted. And I was like, what the heck? I don't like that. I don't like it at all, actually.
How long have you lived there?
2018. So,
well,
it's not. It's fine. Right.
And we could do another rendition of House Hunters.
Yeah, we did do one of those.
I like that.
Not my house, though.
Nicole.
I don't think my house is haunted. I don't.
Maybe your garage is.
Well, if maybe that one person can come on and tell us the story about it.
She's like, never mind, bye. And I was like, okay,
maybe
that
she's
was
your ghost.
weird. I didn't
maybe
like
she's
that.
the ghost. That's what it is.
I
That's
don't
her
like
trick or
that.
treat. She goes around random people.
Oh my gosh, that's so mean.
Just so you know.
Hey,
that would
have you
be
lived there
so
long?
mean.
Gotta go. Bye.
See ya.
I don't like that.
It was a random lady.
Thanks. I
No,
won't
me and
sleep
my
for a
mom
week.
were like, what the heck just happened?
Just not gonna sleep tonight. That's
She's
fine.
like, okay, I think we need to get a priest over to bless it again. And I'm like, yeah, I think you're right, Mom. Let's do that.
Please.
I know a couple.
Especially before the 31st of this month.
Need
Yeah.
some sage.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Yeah. Some holy water.
Exorcism.
Yeah. Okay.
Holy
Enough
water?
about that.
Is that what
Yeah,
that-
holy water.
That's a segue.
There
You're
we
welcome,
go.
everybody.
Thank you.
What are you drinking? I want to hear about it because
Okay.
yours is more exciting than mine.
Yes. So I am drinking Wood Boss Brewing Company, and it's called In the Shadows of Giants. It's a double dry hopped New England IPA.
Now, is it
And Nick and Nico were waiting to try it until just right now.
is it a double IPA or is
No,
it,
I think it's
has
a
it been
DDH, double
hopped?
dry hopped. Because it's 7.1%.
Oh, yeah, that's not a
So
double.
it's not double. It's an East Coast IPA.
Wow.
Yeah.
Mm,
What do you think?
that's bright.
Dry hops
It is.
crush. They crush.
It's really
I love
good.
that.
I know. Isn't that delicious?
Yeah, because the pop of flavor is all on the front end because you're not cooking those hops at all. So it's all just the brightness,
Yeah.
like you said. And it's going to
It's
be
hoppy, but
gonna
it's not like overly alcoholic tasting.
Yeah, it's not bitter. Like you get that brightness and it's crisp. It goes away
Yeah.
as fast as it comes on. I don't know.
Yeah.
I like it. That's really unique, actually.
I know.
Woods Boss, you're crushing it.
You are the boss.
I'm ashamed as a Coloradoan, I guess. I had never heard of this. So I think this is a place that we must go.
Yeah.
Must visit.
I've been there once.
Where are
I
they?
think once or twice. So they're in downtown Denver in like 5 Points area off 22nd and California.
Oh, okay.
And they have a really cool feel in there. It's like a lodge almost and mountainy.
Boy, that is.
But in
that's
downtown,
five,
that's
straight
really
5
quite
points right
cool.
there. That's like
Yeah.
the nexus.
They do a couple different things. Like they have Aloha Fridays, which I actually didn't look what that entails, but I'm guessing you would fit right in, Nick.
I didn't even plan that. So there we go. Perfect.
And then they have live music on the weekends as well. So
Oh, I think we should go check
Yeah.
it out.
Is it all ages? Or is it a 21 and up joint?
I feel like it's 21 and up, but don't quote me on that.
It's a good question. I like that.
Where's fact checker Phil?
Yeah, we need fact checker Phil. He couldn't.
I
join us.
am not sure because I don't think they
Smoking
have
meats.
food there. I think it's mainly just the beers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tasting room.
Yeah.
Well, worth checking out, I think. I'm taking a little breather, so I am enjoying a return of our friends Athletic Brewing, the non-alcoholic. The people that have, as Nico put it perfectly before the episode started, they have figured out the cheat code to non-alcoholic beers. We have tried a lot on this podcast, as a matter of fact. Nobody can do it, in my opinion. No offense to anybody else, like Athletic. They make it tastes like a beer. It tastes like a real live beer. So this one is called All Out. It's an extra dark. So it's basically got that stout kind of feel to it. And I mean, at a 0 or 0.5% alcohol or whatever it is. And it tastes like a real beer. So I like that they figured it out and it's hitting the spot. So especially for the time of year, as I always like to say, dark beer tastes good in the fall. So
All their beers are home runs.
yeah.
Yeah.
They're beers.
Yeah. Yeah. Because the
They're
brewing
NA
process is the
beers.
same. They just extract the alcohol. So I don't know how they do it. I'm not a
It's the cheat code.
Scientist. But yeah, so I love it. They've done it again. I haven't had this one yet, so
Wow.
nicely
Are you
done.
doing Sober October, or are you just...
No, but we were just talking about this before we started recording. I'm trying to cut back a little bit, kind of as like a general life thing here again. I felt like through the summer, and especially through the month of September, whether it has to do with my birthday or I don't know what, it's just like a month of like, hey, it's okay to drink. It's Wednesday.
It's the end of summer.
It's the end of summer.
Maybe.
Trying to pack it in before.
And the weather's
it was
perfect.
still warm. It was like really nice out in September.
The weather's perfect for sitting outside. And like my wife and I both do it. We're like, man, I just want to go sit on a patio somewhere and drink beer. And when one of us says that, the other one goes, let's go. And we always go.
Twist my arm. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We're the instigator for the
go.
other. That's why we have been married for 11 years. So that's how that works, I guess. But had the kind of realization that I was trying to, get back to the gym another day or 2 a week. So maybe I should reel in the diet a little bit. And that includes that.
Have a fight tonight?
No. Tonight's a night off, but I figured if I can pick one more weekday where I'm not, other than the days where I'm working out and stuff, it'd be good.
Yeah, there you go.
So
that's why you're so buff.
That's the beers. Actually, that's the extra medium shirts. Thank you. Everybody said something.
That's the extra medium shirts, he says.
I wash them and shrink them twice. No.
Super medium.
Super medium.
Schmedium.
The schmedium.
Small medium.
So enough about my shirt.
Why
are we really here?
Yeah, we have talked a lot about your shirt today.
We have, although it's one of my favorites, so I can get that.
Yeah. All right, so we are here for the market update. So I'll go ahead and just jump right in. So for the residential, the average price of the home in the Denver metro area for the month of September was $692,460. So that was a 0.63% increase from August. The median price for the residential home is $585,000, which was a 0.69% increase from August. For detached homes, the median price for the single family, $640,000, which was a decrease from August of 1.53%. And then for attached homes, the median price was $420,000, and that's a 0.48% increase from August. So all like pretty stable overall. I mean, most of them were less than 1%, either up or down. And then just another important number to note. So median residential price for September this year was up by 0.86% compared to September of 2022.
It's a little crazy.
So
to think that 640,000 is 1.5% down as a median home price.
For detached.
I mean, I know we talk about the affordability of Colorado. We talk about how to be a home buyer in this market, in that market, whatever it is. That's what we do on this podcast. Mm-hmm. But it is, if you take a step back and look at it, that's kind of a crazy number in Denver. I know that's just kind of the way it's become, but it does feel, I don't know. I don't know why that number seems high to me.
High. Yeah.
It's crazy. The 420, I get it. But yeah, and obviously we know it because we're in it. But it's one of those things. It's okay to take a step back and go, okay, all right. There's some value.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Realize, which is good. So on to some more stats and some more numbers before we dissect this a little bit. Average days in the MLS for September was exactly 30 days. So for detached, it was 29. Attached, it was 31. So a month, which is still considered to be a relatively short time on the market, if you really think about it, in the grand scheme of what historically has been days on market. So the last few years notwithstanding. There were 7,629 active listings at month's end. That's up 11.25% from last month. So traffic slowed down throughout the month of September. We're down 0.7% from last year's month's end as well. So amount of closed homes in September was 3,175. That's down almost
quite a bit.
21%
from
August. So that's definitely that slowdown in traffic.
And probably also why there was an increase in the number of active listings at month's end.
Yep, that would make a lot of sense. And then that's also 28% down from last year. So if you think about where we were this time last year, rates had already gone up. And so things were already starting to come to a little bit of a slowdown, but we're down even more, which a lot of the predictors of the predictions that like to look in their crystal ball in our industry said that 2023 would actually be a little bit of a slower year than 2022 in the real estate world. So sometimes they're right. They get it. They figure it out. There were 4,589 new listings in the month of September, which is almost 6% down from the previous month. So that's also that kind of that slowdown where people that are looking to sell are maybe thinking, I don't need to sell right now kind of thing. We'll talk more about that. Average close to list price was 99.19%. So there again, for those of you that don't remember what that is, that's basically saying what you listed at versus what you closed at. They're almost identical in this case. They're just a little bit below. And lastly, the number that everybody sets their watch to, interest rates as of today, we're at 7.81% for a 30-year fixed conventional loan. That is the highest I think we've talked about on this podcast.
Yeah, it is.
Ever. So it's relative to the world. I know it's not crazy, but it seems to be creeping up every single week, every month, especially when we do these. So diving in on what that means for people out there looking to buy, Nicole.
Yeah. So, as we've said before, if you're a buyer, it's important to note that there are a lot of opportunities still out there for you, especially first-time home buyers that aren't needing to sell their house to get into a new one. So it's, I know the interest rate is higher than it has been over the last couple of years, and that's why a lot of the demand has seemed to have gone down. But because of that, there's a lot of different ways that you can work with a great lender to try and make it affordable for you. Also working with the seller as well. So a lot of people selling their homes right now are, not necessarily doing it because they want to, but more because they're in a situation where they kind of need to. With that being said, you can use that to negotiate a little bit more as well. Have them try and put in the contract for them to buy down the rate. That's very normal right now. I read a stat the other day that there's 60% of the closed homes, like in the last month, had concessions or points bought down by the seller. And the concessions were averaging like $9,000. So it's good to note that and to just be aware. And it's like there's ways to do that,
Yeah, and we've seen that steadily come more and more into the foreground for buyers, that they have a little bit more of that power in their camp, in their corner when they're out there trying to negotiate.
Yeah, and don't be afraid to ask. And if it works, it works. And if not, then you can negotiate about it.
Absolutely. So. That's what it's meant to be, too. It's not a line in the sand, right? It's let's see what we can do. Let's give and let's take. And let's find the middle ground.
Exactly.
That's where we come in.
Yeah.
That's our job.
I know.
That's us. We're here for that.
One last thing I did want to point out, too, is, when homes were flying off the market and we were having, 10 offers on one property, if homes fell out of contract, a lot of times it seemed to be because of the inspection. And that's just not the case anymore. Like now homes are falling out more so because their offer is contingent on them selling their house, and then that house is contingent on another house. Like there's a lot of contingent offers that are in like a domino effect. If one of those falls out, they all kind of fall out.
We heard about one the other day, right? From Brandy.
Yep.
Wasn't she the one talking about that? Another agent in our office who they had one that was like in line of like 5. Dominoes.
Exactly.
And one of the dominoes fell the wrong way. So every other contingent offer just went out the window.
Because you needed one to close in order to close the other
So it's
a lot.
risky. It's scary. It's sometimes all you got when you're the seller. So you kind of, you're not as quick to dismiss those contingent offers in this market.
And they haven't.
30 days on the market.
Yep.
Yeah.
You look at those offers and you're like, well,
might as well.
Yeah. Yeah,
And they
you're
do.
not as quick to say no or yes.
And they're working. It's not to say that's not working. There's a lot that are closing too, but there's a lot.
That's just the risk.
That's just the risk.
Right. Yeah. We have one. I maybe
Yeah.
shouldn't talk about it yet, but we have one that should be closing in a couple days, but it's a contingent offer, the buyer on it. So but our seller, we're confident, their agent's been great. So their folks are looking to be on track. So
nice. I guess
fingers
a
crossed.
point though I wanted to make is if you're a buyer that is looking at houses, just because it was pending and then came back on market doesn't mean necessarily that there's something wrong with the house.
That's a very important point.
Right.
I'm glad you said that because that is the first assumption people make.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that was seasoned into our brains because
I think
of
so.
how the
like
market
a little
was.
black mark on the house, but it's just not the case anymore.
There's so many points in the contract where things can fall apart. Inspection is only one. So I'm really glad you brought that up.
Yeah.
That's very, very good. Onto the sellers.
Yep.
Okay. So if you are in the life of, I'm going to sell my home, all the things we've talked about in the market updates in the past few months is it's still a good time to sell. It's still a good time to get yourself on the market. I think this is one of those moments where it is so crucial to know if we talk about it's the right time, if it's right for you. Know right now you're thinking about selling your home, if it is crucial that you sell right now. I think that's really important. And you alluded to it, saying some people are selling when they don't want to, but they have to.
Mm-hmm.
So if you don't have to, but you're thinking you might need to sell in the next month, 6 months, 12 months, we're here to tell you that it is okay, in my opinion, to wait, because we are coming into the time of year where it traditionally does slow down dramatically because of the holidays, because people are traveling, because they're with their families. They are not thinking about buying a home.
Right.
So if you are looking to sell your home and you don't absolutely have to do it before November or December, I would recommend January. February is a great time to start thinking about getting yourself on the market. And that way you have some time. If you want to work on touching up some paint, if you want to work on recarpeting, if you want to, some things that you think and you and your real estate agent talk about, I'll sit there with sellers a lot and they'll say, is it worth me redoing the kitchen before we sell it? And I'll say, no, because that's a lot of money you're putting into it and you're not guaranteed to get that back. But is it worth you having the furnace serviced and certified? Maybe that's a couple $100. And that at least we can put out there and say, hey, this has been done. On the one that's should be closing in a couple days, we had that happen before we even went on the market. We had a home inspector out there to inspect the roof.
Oh, good.
Before we even went on the
Especially
market.
because with winter coming up, that's smart.
And he recommended some repair work. We had the repair work done with a certification and a 5-year transferable warranty. That was something we could go on the market with and say, hey, this was something, we addressed it. Here's the paperwork for it. And that makes you more marketable as a seller. So if you think that, the interest rates are scaring people out of it as a seller too, that's obviously something that's outside of your control to some degree. But like Nicole said, have in the back of your mind that you are okay with maybe a dollar amount that you're willing to give to help buyers get into that house. Because if you are motivated, you may need to give a little bit on that concession side to help them get where they need to be to make it affordable for them. I think that's a big, important piece that is worth reiterating. Everybody talks about interest rates coming down in the coming, first and second quarter of next year. I'm always one of those that I'll believe it when I see it.
Yeah.
Betting
I
on it is
agree.
tough.
I feel like it will depend on elections and whatnot as well.
And that's a very good point too. We're coming into that time in our country where no matter what happens, people tend to change their spending behaviors during an election year, no matter what. So no matter what side of the fence you're on, that is just a very normal human behavior.
Yep.
So that's something to keep in mind. Lastly, if you are the person that does need to get on the market and does need to sell your home as soon as possible, make sure you work with your trusted real estate agent to figure out what's going to make your home the most marketable out there so that most eyes are seeing it and they are impressed when they see it. If that means, obviously, a professional cleaning would be great, professional staging or an interior decorator, at least advising you on what your home looks like. Those are huge things that can set you apart and make sure that your home looks the part. And beyond that, obviously we've talked about it before, but professional photos, doing those drone photos or drone video shoots of your property. They set you apart. They really do kind of draw people's eyes in a different way. So a lot of those things are automatic for a lot of agents, but not always, in their package of things they recommend. So if you are thinking about selling and you don't have an agent yet, or you do have someone you trust, bring those things up. Ask about them. Ask about what that cost looks like, and ask about if they think it's worth that, so that you can get more for your home. Other thing I wanted to say is that if you are one of those folks, and these are out there a lot too, and there's nothing wrong with it, that are selling the home as is. There are a lot of those that, it's my parents' house. They passed away. I never lived in the house, so I'm not fixing anything. I'm just putting it out there at this price. Mm-hmm. I'm selling it as is, which means I'm not going to make any repairs. Know the type of people you will attract. A lot of times, those are the investors that are going to kind of scattershot a lot of offers every single weekend and trying to see what sticks. Sometimes they'll be the people that are just flipping it and looking to try and do like a little bit of a lower offer or whatever it is. So just understand that going out there, and don't let it offend you. Don't let it be a personal attack if they are offering less. Know that you have that power to still negotiate and talk that through with them as well.
Good point.
And lastly, as we always say, it's the right time when it's right for you. So know what your situation is. If you don't absolutely have to sell right now, my recommendation is to hang tight for a few months and get yourself out there in February.
Yeah.
That's a lot. We covered a lot, but I feel like it's kind of a weird shift in the market right now at this time of year. Mm-hmm. And so I think it's important to just kind of be mindful of what you need as a buyer or a seller, and what your agent can do to help you get where you want to go. That's what we're here for.
Here we
Smile.
are.
And that's it for our market update for September. So thank you all for joining us. We appreciate you endlessly. To our unofficial sponsors of this episode, they didn't even know they were. Woods Boss Brewing Company and Athletic Brewing Company. We love you. Woods Boss, we have to come visit. Athletic Brewing Company, I'd like to come visit you too. San Diego, California. That'd be great.
Any time of year?
Yes.
Do they have like a flagship, like a place?
They have a place in Connecticut where they make the beer,
and
then in San Diego too. I don't know if they have like an actual like tap room you could visit. I kind of think that'd be awesome.
That would be really cool, but I wonder.
Yeah.
Or if they just make it.
Yeah, could be that. Just distribute it.
Nick, you're on it.
I'm on it.
Yep.
Note to self.
Yeah.
Research.
Visit where I need to go.
Yeah.
Connecticut or San Diego?
I mean,
Connecticut would be awesome.
Yeah. Or
San Diego, I do love too, because I have friends out there. You lived out there.
I love that town. And I haven't been in a long time. So it's been a few years. So
let's give a shout out to the Avs starting their season today.
Baby.
Let's go, Avs.
The real season, not preseason.
Bring the cup back.
Yeah,
game 1.
Yes.
Today.
Is it not currently in Las Vegas?
Yeah.
No professional sports trophy belongs in Las Vegas. I said it. I stand by it. Come at me. Come at me, audience, if you have a problem with that. But the Raiders, no. The Golden Knights, who? So it'll come back. They got this. Same with the Nuggies. They're around the corner too. So, but shout out to the Avs. I like them. Let's go.
I do.
All right. For those of you that haven't yet, please hop in, subscribe, and click the buttons that you like these episodes. We appreciate all of you. We had a huge increase in views over the last couple weeks, courtesy of our friends at HMA. So thank you guys for supporting, and thanks to all of our other supporters, because you guys are the lifeblood keeping us afloat. And if you are a YouTube user, an Apple Podcast user, a Spotify user, we're on all those things. So check us out there, continuing listening to us there, seeing us there. And we always love hearing from you too. So reach out if you ever have any questions or have any feedback. And to the team, cheers.
Cheers.